Since RuneScape's first release in 2001, a lot has changed. New content's been released, old content's evolved, and the game just doesn't feel how it used to. But what if there was a way to experience the oldest content in the game exactly as it was intended, isolated from all the skills, the keybinds, the stuff of modern day? Well, it turns out there is. Welcome to Level Locked. Here we are, 2002. In the previous episode, we blasted all the way through 2001. Well, kind of. We had to move the goalposts a little because of some of the reworked quests, but we made it. Before we get too far into 2002, we should really try and complete Dragon Slayer, since that was originally the goal of 2001. To do this, we need to hit 33 quest points, which, as you remember, was a problem last time, because completing all of the quests from 2001, including some of the reworked ones, still only gave me 28 quest points. So without further ado, let's go and get 5 more quest points. I might as well do the most useful quests that I can, and in 2002 the Herblore skill was released. Back then it was locked behind the completion of the Druid Ritual quest. In this series we'll play by whatever rules were in place at the time. So, the quest is still required for the skill. So let's go and unlock Herblore then. As it turns out, the Druids of Tavali worship Guthix, the god of balance, who's still very much alive, and nobody can tell me otherwise. The problem is that, while the trolls are invading from the north, the pacifist Druids won't fight back, and Guthix isn't doing a whole lot to help them. To get the god's attention, they decided to make an ointment of imbalance. And when I say they decided to make it, what I actually mean is they decided that this random guy with absolutely no experience in Herblore is the perfect man for the job. I ran around Tavali for a bit collecting strange items and caught a stonefish and stole its scales. I chased some weird creature thing and stole its leaves, and then I entered a cave and stole its... well, it wasn't really stealing. I just took some special water. Once I had all 3 things, I took them to Samfew, who brewed a potion with them. I then bought that mix to Cake Mix, so he could do the ritual. And that's it, quest complete. I now have access to Herblore, and I'm 4 quest points closer to Dragon Slayer. As for the Druids, well, they're still waiting for Guthix, and I have a strange feeling that they might be waiting a long time. I needed a break from all this do-gooding and helping people out and adventuring, and so I decided that it was time to start to delve into the most notorious, nefarious, and one of my personal favourite skills, thieving. I spent some time stealing some hard-earned money from the people of Lumbridge, but after a while they kind of started to notice, so I just straight up murdered them. Another useful quest we can do now is Waterfall quest. So for this quest, I went to a waterfall. Quest done. Nah, when I got there was this kid called Hudden, and he was stuck by the water, and his mother was worried. Told him to go home, but he wanted to find some treasure, so I figured, hey, let me help you, so you can be finished and go home. He didn't like that. He thought I might try and steal the treasure, but I would never do something like that. How could I? An adventurer would never stoop so low as to steal from innocent people. But yeah, I stole it. And along the way, I discovered the tomb of the late elf queen Glariel. Acquired the necklace and urn, took them to a hidden cave behind the waterfall, where I found a tomb of Baxtorian, Glariel's husband, activated an ancient mechanism and left Glariel's remains with those of her husband. How romantic. I walked away from the whole thing with 31 attack and strength, some diamonds, and some special seeds that definitely could not one day lead to a massive underground gambling syndicate that steals billions from innocent noobs and threatens the future of RuneScape as we know it. Nah, definitely not. Wouldn't put them into a game. Now with 1 extra quest point, we've unlocked Dragon Slayer. But I'm still not quite ready. So at first I started killing some guards in Ardoyne, and it just didn't quite feel right. Something about it just felt odd. I had to get back to more newbie surroundings. After a short 10-minute stroll across a literal entire continent, I made it back to Edgeville. Now this is where we ran into a little problem, but not a problem in the game. Pretty much all of the rest of the footage from 2002 got corrupted somehow and basically unusable. The next part of the video might be a little bit scuffed because we have to use stream archives instead of the dedicated recordings, but well, you're just going to have to get over it. And unfortunately, the next day's stream was also not available. So let me give you a little quick rerun. I did some skilling. I got 20 mining, 10 wood cutting, and 10 agility. I saved some gnomes from the Khazad army, freed Merlin from a crystal, and with my new role as a Knight of the Round Table, went on a quest in search of the Holy Grail. And we're back. Hey look, it's me. Anyway, back to the quests. I travelled to the realm of the Fisher King, rescued the Fisher King's son, and I took home the Holy Grail. I got some pretty decent XP. And now we're past the 300 total level. This means we're already past the level requirements for 2003, so that's all that's left to do is some dragon slaying. Since a dragon's most powerful attack is fire, I thought, hey, let's fight fire with fire. So I burnt down many a log, as many as I could get my hands on, getting all the way to 20 fire making, before I realised that fire making doesn't quite let me do what I wanted it to do. This quest is a bit different to the others. There isn't any massive world-ending threat to stop or innocent civilians struggling with their mundane jobs. For once, I'm doing a quest because I wanted to do it. I wanted to join the Champions Guild and earn the right to wear the finest melee armour in all of the land. Something that will never ever be topped. The Rune Plate Body. The only man who's able to sell such an awesome and unique item is Ozark, and he couldn't give me one unless I'd killed Elvarg, the dragon who burnt the island of Crandor to cinder. I spoke to the guildmaster at the Champions Guild and found out I would need 3 things to kill Elvarg. Firstly, I'd need a map so I can actually find Crandor. Sure, it's already on the literal world map available, but this one's a more specific map apparently. To make matters worse, the map was split up and I would need to get all 3 parts of the map. The next thing is I'd need a boat, since a map is no good if I have no way to follow it. And lastly, I need to protect myself from dragonfire. The first piece of the map was held by Melzar the Mad, a rather strange fellow who's locked himself away in a maze of doors and ladders and hides in the basement surrounded by his ever-growing collection of cabbages and his lovely pet rock. Melzar, bless him, wasn't even the final boss of his own maze. I had to kill a demon after him to reach the chest containing the map piece. The next map piece belonged to Thelzar, or as she is more commonly known, the Oracle. In classic mysterious, all-knowing Oracle style, she wouldn't just give me the map. Instead she gave me a riddle that explained the strange ritual involving some random items that would open a door in the Dwarven mine. The last map piece, I had to go to Port Sarim jail. Lozar, who had originally owned the map, had been robbed and killed by some goblins, one of which was arrested and taken here. Conveniently, this one goblin was the one who took the map. I definitely should have killed him for his heinous crime, but I didn't. I paid him 10 grand. With the map complete, I moved on to the next item on my shopping list. I paid a quick visit to the Duke Horatio of Lumbridge, who provided me with an anti-fire shield that should protect me from the flames of Elvarg. The last thing I needed was a boat. I'm pretty sure I saw a boat for sale when I was over in Port Sarim. Turns out I was right. I bought the Lady of Lumbridge for the low price of 2,000 gold coins. Needed a few repairs, but it was in a pretty good shape. It even came with its own cabin boy. I'm sure he'll come in handy later. With everything ready, I just needed one more thing. A captain. Had a quick chat with Neddy and Draenor, who funnily enough would risk his life to sail just once more. So there's the 3 of us. Ned, the cabin boy, and myself boarded the ship and set off on our voyage. All of a sudden Elvarg appeared and attacked the boat. Who could have predicted a massive powerful dragon who once burnt an entire island to the ground could be somewhat aggressive and set the boat on fire? And there goes Cabin Boy Jenkins. I swam to the shore and entered the cavern below Crandor where Elvarg was. Anti-fire shield in hand, and fueled by the desire to wear that shiny blue chestplate, I charged into battle. Yeah, well, that didn't really go as planned. I couldn't even get back to my grave quick enough, so I lost all my stuff, basically. One training arc later, I returned to Crandor with my fully upgraded set. Full adamant, fresh lobsters. I even managed to be so incredibly holy that I activated prayers that hadn't even been created yet. But we don't need to talk about that last one. Thankfully, this time I won the fight and was able to make sure the dragon was really dead and cut its head off as a trophy. I returned to Ozark, showed him the head, and was inducted into the Order of the Champions. It's a shame I'm still too low level to wear the rune plate body though. There was only one thing left holding me back from getting into 2003, and that was to slay the King Black Dragon. Now, as you might imagine, with a man who struggled to kill a puny green dragon, I had to get some help. But don't worry, these guys followed the rules. Legacy combat, gear from 2002, we even entered through the wilderness area. After many failed attempts, thanks to incredibly funny people who decided to crash us in non-2002 gear, we managed to kill him. And with that, the task was complete. Dragon Slayer, done. King Black Dragon, dead. Total level above 293. We're in 2003, another year closer to the final goal. If you're enjoying the series so far, feel free to drop a like on the video, and if you haven't already, subscribe. If you could comment below with one of your oldest memories of RuneScape. And with that, we're on to 2003. See you there. Here we are, 2002. In the previous episode, we blasted all the way through 2001. Well, kind of. We had to move the goalposts. Not make them. We had to move them. Can't make goalposts. Well, you can, but not in RuneScape. Well, anyway,